Hello everyone, welcome to my first video. I have been drawing dogs for a while now. I've done about 13 of them, I think, and it all started when I finished a challenge for doing a month-long challenge that Ello Lovey did on Instagram. So for the whole month of July, I was drawing something every day, and once I finished, I still wanted to draw things, but I just didn't know what. And I just felt this desire to need to keep on doing it because I love challenges, and I thought, well, if I keep drawing every day, I'll get better and I'll feel accomplished, so that's what I kept on doing. And the thing that I chose to draw was a dog. And then I couldn't stop. I was drawing dogs every day, not finishing them every day, but putting a lot of work into them and posting them on Instagram and then taking requests. And eventually I have plans to turn these dogs into a calendar, but that's getting ahead of myself. So what I wanted to show you here was how I was drawing a French Bulldog that Kayla requested me to draw. I thought, oh, this would be cool to do a time lapse. And little did I know that this would become one of the most difficult ones to record, because during the middle of shooting, my laptop died. The logic board went out. I was back and forth at the Apple store, I think 3 times. And I also couldn't find the reference for this anymore. And my other computer, my backup iMac, is an old 2007 machine that has barely any memory left. So I couldn't even put the clips on there. So I had all these files and I was just waiting for my computer to come back so I could finish this, because I didn't want to keep working on it without showing what was happening, because I really wanted to see it come to life and see how long it took me. And I did a time lapse of this, but when I look at the raw video, it's about 2 hours. So over the course of a little under a month, it took me about roughly 2 hours to do this whole thing. And that's me after 6 months drawing. So I definitely have gotten faster than I used to be, and that's pretty good. I would like to get to be a little bit faster, but then again, when you start drawing and you're just getting into the zone, you're kind of like, oh, it doesn't matter. I could just sit here and do this for hours, and literally I will sometimes, and sometimes I just want to spend more time. So here I'm using my multi-liner, one of the multi-liners that didn't die on me, because, you know, everything just kind of died on me during all of this. I was using Copic multi-liners to go over the Prismacolor colored pencil that I used to sketch this. And this is the order in which I have been doing my drawings lately. Is first I will sketch it based on a reference. I always draw with a reference. I can't draw from my imagination. I won't get the shapes or the shadows or the highlights right, or the color. Basically, I need a reference for everything, and I think that's okay. I think a lot of people think you're not being creative if you use a reference, but you can still put your own touch into something, you know, like you don't really have to think that, oh, just because I'm using a photo or still life or something, it's not my own. No, you'll definitely have your own touch. So now what I'm doing, now that I've blocked off the main lines, I am going to start filling it in with color. And what I like to do is use my Copic markers to start off with the lightest colors and then build my way up. And I'm using the handbook, and I think it's by Global Art Materials. It's a travelogue. It's a square notebook, and I love it so much. In fact, I just finished it, and I ordered another one. I got it from Amazon. They're about $12. And the way that the colors blend on here is just amazing. It feels like watercolor. And I did do watercolor before I started doing Copic markers, and I have to say I am a complete Copic marker convert. And my friend Elisa, who got me into this, she must be a sales rep for them, because I bought so many of them. And you'll notice, or you actually probably won't notice in this. Okay, so here's where I came back from getting my computer back from the shop and starting all over again, which is why this angle is different. And this is me finishing it up over the past couple days. And to continue with what I was saying earlier, which I hope I remember what I was talking about, I had to get some refills for some of these markers because I go through them like crazy, and also layering black on black, which is really gray on gray because I'm using a lot of grays here, is really difficult. I couldn't really get the depth that I wanted, So you'll notice I keep going over a lot of the same parts a lot of times with different colors. I really like to layer and layer and layer until the paper just won't hold anymore. And this particular sketchbook paper is really good at holding lots of color. You'll probably notice that I have a postcard tucked underneath the page, and you can see another dog portrait beside it. That's because this paper, I can't talk when I'm doing a voiceover. This is the first one I've ever done, so I feel kind of unsure about what to say or how fast to say it, and I'm watching my timeline go by really fast. So this is paper that bleeds, which is okay. At the beginning when I was using Copics, I was like, oh gosh, I don't want to use paper that bleeds, I need to get the render. And actually the next sketchbook that I'm going to be using is render, but this one is by, what did I say it was? Global Art Materials Handbook, the Travelogue. It feels like watercolor paper. It's amazing. I just love the results I've been getting with it. But I also want to try other stuff, so I'll be trying different paper next. But this is my process. I'm going to go back and keep going over things and checking my reference, which you can't see because it's off in front of me on my computer monitor, and going over the different areas until I feel like they look correct. I had big lights on either side of me as I was doing this, which made it really hard to see the monitor to tell what I was looking at, and there's my head because I didn't realize I was getting in the way. Now I've got my refill for my multi-liner, the 0.25 that I like the most. The other ones skip a little bit. I bought them off Amazon and they didn't work as well. This is my favorite. It's a 0.25 thickness and it's the best one that I've used. You can't get really small marks. That's where I start using my 4-pack that has different sizes for the smaller lines, but that size is really nice. I'm also using a white gel pen to add some highlights and definition, and that's really a nice way to add some definition after the fact. So I'm almost done here. I'm finishing this up, and thanks Kayla for asking me to do this. It was a lot of fun. It took longer than I expected, but I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.